are talking about women's basketball that you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas. Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
The WNBA is buzzing after Caitlin Clark's recent interview where she addressed the infamous flagrant foul against her longtime competitor, Angel Reese. Clark said several things that enhanced her appreciation for basketball fans, elevating the league as a whole and establishing new benchmarks for competition, but she never loses her cool under any circumstances. Everyone expected fireworks, even as analysts predicted a war of words, but Clark's response left everyone stunned. Did Clark just throw shade at her own coach, or did she reveal a hidden respect for Reese, rewriting the narrative of their bitter rivalry? On July 3rd, prior to Sunday's Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky game, the third professional encounter between the collegiate rivals, the official all-star rosters were revealed. Clark mentioned the possibility and used a lot of speculative language. We both focus on playing basketball, and if that works out well for both of us, then that's fantastic, I think. It sounded like fun because she was being cautious, as they'd never played together. In a sensible discussion, Clark stated the following instead of bragging about her selection and increased number of votes. I suppose I'm not truly aware of every factor that's considered when choosing the All-Star squad. I understand that fan votes contribute to the league's standings, but there are also other requirements. She's had an amazing season, so it's not only a fan vote. I'm sure people would love it if it happened. However, Clark's statistics, which stand out at 16.2 points per game, speak for themselves and can help any club around the globe. She is on track to become the fourth player in history to average at least 15 points per game, with her 5.4 rebounds and 6.2 assists. However, with 5 rebounds and 5 assists, she leads all rookies in scoring assists and three-pointers made per season. Among all players, she ranks 3rd in threes and 4th in assists. Reese, on the other hand, has broken the rookie record for the most consecutive doubles with 7. She is averaging 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 1.9 steals per game. The former LSU standout is leading the league in offensive rebounds by a margin of 20 rebounds, and she leads all rookies in steals and rebounding. The air crackled with tension in the Phoenix Suns arena, and just days prior, the WNBA witnessed a clash for the ages. The Indiana Fever, which was led by the electrifying rookie Clark, squared off against the Chicago Sky rookie, Reese. The game itself was a nail-biter, deciding by a single free throw in the final seconds. But it was a play midway through the fourth quarter that stole the headlines. Of course, Clark and Reese joined the WNBA this year, and since both basketball players were among the favorites in the game, a rivalry began to develop. It's worth noting, though, that Reese may not be too fond of Clark, as she has gone so far as to delete tweets that seem to be about the former Iowa star. Nevertheless, these ladies have found themselves in the spotlight, and Clark wants everyone to stop talking about rivalries. Before this past weekend's Fever game against the Chicago Sky, a reporter inquired about Clark's thoughts on the alleged Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese rivalry. Clark didn't seem overly enthusiastic about the question, so I can understand that she is likely exhausted from hearing about it. While she's pleased that both women have helped grow fans' interest in their teams, Reese talked about how she thought the Fever versus Sky matchup would have been in a larger arena like some of the previous Fever games of the season. The rookie sensation exclaimed, "I thought that would have been really good for the game, and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago." The last 2 games, she said, had truly lived up to the hype and provided the fans with some incredible games to witness. However, this is where the story takes a dramatic turn. Here's the surprise. Clark and Reese will most likely play beside one another for the first time in their careers at the annual event, which is based on the results of the first round of voting for the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game. On July 20th, 2024, the WNBA All-Star Game took place, which is 9 days before Team USA's Olympic debut versus Japan. If put together at the WNBA All-Star Game, Clark and Reese will be a fascinating tandem. The rookies will compete for the third time in less than a month this weekend when the Indiana Fever and Chicago Skies meet. They met each other twice in the NCAA tournament while playing for Iowa and LSU, respectively. Despite the media portraying the basketball players as resentful, they have generally spoken well of one another. Many fans will be thrilled to see them team up against some of the greatest players in the world, since, as their rivals have noted, they are intense competitors who have shown it every time they play. If you find this video fascinating and want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on even more exciting updates. Naturally, the two have been rivals for a very long time, as even when Clark's 30 points, which set a record for the most points scored in an NCAA tournament, Reese's LSU Tigers still defeated Clark's Iowa club in their 2023 NCAA championship matchup. Since the two are now rookies in the WNBA, the competition has intensified. Clark's team prevailed in Sunday's game between the Fever and Sky, but not before she took an elbow to the face.
By Power Cassidy with the elbow.
Previous foul was under review.
Reese attempted a block during a layup in Sunday's game, and it was determined upon review that she committed a flagrant 1 foul. There have undoubtedly been previous instances of Clark being fouled. Reese was celebrating on the bench when Clark went down. With competitors vying for the attention of the most well-liked player in the league, fouling Clark almost looks like a separate sport in the WNBA. Regarding the game's call, Reese wasn't too fond of it. "It was an athletic play," Reese declared following the match. "I can't control the referees. They clearly had a big impact on tonight's game. Some people just seem to have a distinctive whistle." Clark appeared to be responding to Sunday's foul with a fairly balanced perspective. She is aware that she is a target, and worrying about it won't help her. That's the cost of rising to the top. "I'm thinking to myself, I have to make these 2 free throws. That's all I have on my mind," Clark remarked. "It is merely a feature of basketball. You know, it is what it is." She's attempting to get the block and move with the ball. However, it does occur. It's true that being the best makes you a target. For a variety of reasons, other players will pursue you. They may simply wish to prevent you from scoring. They may like to make a statement at times. They want you to understand that being excellent does not equate to being unbeatable. "That's how the game should be. We're competitors," Clark remarked. "Both teams are merely trying to win, but it's going to get physical and a touch nasty at times." Regarding Reese, Clark remarked, "Obviously, I've played her for a very long time, and she's been a fantastic player. It has been a lot of fun to compete against her. Because fans enjoy watching exciting contests, I believe it has improved the game. That is, after all, the most optimal viewpoint. Because she is aware that it is best for everyone involved, Clark has a tremendous deal of respect for both the game she plays and her opponents. She understands that being at her best is better for everyone, and that involves staying on top of her game both literally and figuratively." Clark's attitude teaches us a valuable lesson. You don't become a champion if you let every call, good or bad, break you. If you allow the tough penalties to derail you from your game, you will never become a champion. Instead, you will become a champion by embracing rivalry with the best. Reese is one of the best, and their competition makes the game better. Let me know what you think about Clark's outstanding response in the comment section below.